Hey, what's up everybody? This is Degus, and today I want to talk about Apex Legends and some general advice I have to help players become better teammates so you can do better and get more wins. So all of that comes from what I feel is some common mistakes of having your team's back, which is very, very important to make sure you can get to the finish line. The first thing I notice is that there's no I in Team or Apex Legends. You have to learn to rely on your team and help them win so they can help you win. It goes hand in hand. Chances are they'll be able to return the favor later on if you get knocked or something. Second, stick very close to your team at all times. It absolutely doesn't help you, and it doesn't help your team whatsoever. Instead, it just drastically increases the chance of everyone getting killed. And that means neither of you will win. So it's game over for all of you. Third, don't be that guy that launches solo way away from your team unless you all agree to land there in a certain spot. You all need to stick together closely in a tight-knit group so that you can be a well-oiled machine to destroy everything in your path. I see this happen all the time. Every couple of matches, the jump master will mark a spot and someone will just launch earlier or fly away from the rest of the team. And I'm like, what the heck are you thinking? Even though I tend to keep my comments to myself, but still it's frustrating because they just cost us the game. I mean, come on, we all have a better chance of winning if we all land in the same spot. It's not rocket science. Number 4. This one irritates me the most. Don't be that guy that runs instantly across to the other side of the map. Just don't. You're just gonna get yourself killed, or worse, get all of us killed because we were down a man. And if you do that, chances are nobody's gonna run over there to save you either. The only exception to that should be if one of us is knocked, the other teammate is about to go down, and obviously at that point you would want to run away and stay away for a while. That would be okay and understandable at that point. Number 5. Don't be that guy that steals loot from your teammate while they're trying to pick it up. Unless of course they died and you're trying to survive, then of course gather it off their death box so that you can stay alive. I can't even count all the times on my fingers and toes that I've had players who have suddenly darted in front of me as I'm about to pick up a shield that I was standing in front of, or even a weapon for that matter. I mean, come on. Where's your sense of respect? Don't be that jerk. Nobody's gonna have your back, even if we're on the same team. Number 6. You should be no more than 30 seconds away from your team at all times, roughly. This helps reinforce and ensure that you all have a greater chance of survival during sudden fights. It also helps prove to the rest of your teammates that you are very serious about the game and want to win the match. Number 7. Try to be at your team's beck and call whenever they need you to help out, such as something you can do or spare. A good example of that would be if your teammate pings somewhere they want to attack and you're a little far away, but you're within range, you can just switch to sniper to have their back. However, don't be that guy that's constantly spamming the ping. It's utterly distracting, especially during gunfights. It's one thing to ping where the enemy is, or loot quickly, but don't do that. That brings me to number 8. If your team's in a firefight, try to help. They're relying on you to get a win. Try to hold off on heals unless you absolutely have to and you're about to die, then go hide and heal up real quick and then return to the firefight. Healing way too early will put your teammates at a huge disadvantage. Number 9. Be smart about picking your gunfights with your team. It's one thing to get caught in a sudden gunfight, but your team might be trying to pick fights they can win. You can't be scared, but sometimes it's not always a good idea to run in guns blazing, as your team might want to try to play a little quietly so that they can sneak up and third party another team to catch them off guard. That's a smart move, often. Number 10. Another important thing is when landing near your team, don't land on top of them. All of you on the same team should break off in the nearby area so that each of you can find a weapon in case of sudden gunfights. This will also help ensure one of you survives and that one of you has a decent chance of finding really good gear. Even if it is in the next building over, at least you'll be close by. Number 11. Flanking and legend skills are your best friend. If your team is going under in the middle of a gunfight from the front, sometimes it can help a lot for one of you to sneak around back to catch the other team off guard and give you the upper hand. Oftentimes, flanking is best to get you higher ground or a better angle to confuse the enemy team and throw them off guard and get you that kill. That leads me to number 12. Team movement on the fly is another best friend. When you and your team are in the same spot for too long, that's a bad idea. Don't ever stay in the same spot for too long. You want to change and rotate. Doing this makes your team far less predictable so that you can get that endgame win. Number 13. Keyboard or controller for your team. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. It's all about your comfort zone when helping your team out. Which are you more comfortable with? I've utterly destroyed players with controller on default settings, but I've also seen a lot of pros on both peripherals destroy other players, and it's just what you feel makes you a better player. Number 14. Mic is purely optional. Yes, a lot of professional players and teams use mics to communicate quickly, but I've also been on champion teams where nobody had mics. Opposite of that, mics can quickly become a source of blame and toxicity, so in my opinion, mics are irrelevant and pings are far more important. All of these tips can help you become a better teammate and break out of that rut that you've been stuck in. So let me know what you think in the comments, and if this video helped you, go ahead and subscribe and give me a like. There'll be more to come.